In the world of financial independence and wealth building, saving the first $100,000 is a significant milestone. Often described as a transformative financial threshold, this figure stands as the litmus test for many on their journey to prosperity. And the wisdom of this isn't just from any regular individual. It comes from the sage financial intellect of Charlie Munger, the billionaire partner of Warren Buffett at Berkshire Hathaway. For those unfamiliar, Charlie Munger is not just Warren Buffett's right-hand man, but a colossal figure in the investment world. Having delved into numerous interviews and writings of Munger, one discovers a treasure trove of financial wisdom, simplified in his characteristic witty one-liners. In my whole life, I have known no wise people over a broad subject matter area who didn't read all the time. None. Zero. Munger believes in continuous learning, simplifying complex matters, and the profound impact of compounding, both in wealth and knowledge. But one of his most famed pieces of advice centers around the first $100,000.
We're good at lifelong learning. Warren is so much better in some ways in his 70s and 80s than he was younger that it's almost awesome. If you keep learning all the time, you have a huge advantage. And we both just like it.
And we have a wonderful group of friends, really wonderful.
From whom we can learn a lot.
In a classic Berkshire Hathaway shareholders meeting, Munger's unfiltered response to a young man's query about wealth generation was candid. The first $100,000 is a but you gotta do it. Beyond this catchy phrase, the underlying principle Munger highlighted was the urgency of reaching this milestone. It is no use whatever preaching wisdom to empty heads, said Charlie Munger. His emphasis? Don't just work hard, work smart. Make sacrifices early on, live frugally, cut costs, and prioritize savings over short-term pleasures.
The hard part of the process for most people is the first $100,000. Getting together $100,000 is a long struggle for most people. And I would argue that the people who get there relatively quickly are helped if they're passionate about being rational, very eager and opportunistic, and underspend their income. I think those three factors are very helpful.
At the heart of effective wealth building is a fundamental yet often misunderstood concept: compound interests. Why is it that this $100,000 milestone is emphasized so much? It's primarily due to the transformative power of compounding. Albert Einstein famously remarked, "Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it, earns it. He who doesn't, pays it." But what does this truly mean? Well, picture, if you will, a snowball perched precariously at the summit of a hill. As it begins its descent and rolls downward, it doesn't merely travel, it accumulates. It gathers more and more snow with every revolution. Initially, the increase seems modest, but as it continues its journey, its growth becomes notably more rapid, almost explosive. With each turn, the snowball's size isn't just added to, it's multiplied. And the most wondrous part? This growth is not a result of any external force or additional effort. It's a natural consequence of its previous size and momentum. This imagery vividly captures the essence of compound interest. In essence, compound interest is a testament to the virtues of patience, foresight, and consistent effort. Whether you're an investor, a saver, or someone looking to secure a stable financial future, understanding and harnessing the might of compound interest can be your most potent ally.
My advice for a seeker of compound interest that works ideally is to reduce your expectations, because I think it's going to be tougher for a while. And it helps to have realistic expectations, makes you less crazy.
If you're excited to uncover the secrets of compound interest, well, do us a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget the notification bell so you never miss out on insights like these. We've got a treasure trove of information coming up, and trust us, you won't want to miss a single bit. All set? Well, that's great. Let's dive deep into the world of compound interest. Let's explore further with John and Steve, two young professionals inspired by Munger's advice. Quickly understanding the profound effect of compound interest, John reaches the $100,000 milestone by the age of 25. Steve, a bit laid back, achieves this by 35. Even if both stop investing at these points, by 70, assuming a 10% return, mirroring the stock market's long-term average, Steve would have amassed a commendable $2.8 million. But John, a staggering $7.3 million. Spend each day trying to be a little wiser than you were when you woke up, said Charlie Munger. Such figures aren't just the result of early saving, but highlight the snowball effect of compound interest over time.
The wealth moves big time, even on an anticipatory basis. And that has become more accentuated in the last 30 years.
To get there, the formula is simple, but requires dedication. Earnings minus expenses equals savings. Boost earnings, reduce expenses, and the savings gap widens. For Munger, this meant selling time back to himself. Early in his career, realizing his underpayment compared to his firm's client billing rate, Munger dedicated time to personal endeavors, like studying investment or real estate. Similarly, anyone can channel side hustles tailored to their skills, be it tutoring, freelance work, or even content creation, as exemplified by the rise of successful YouTube channels. Simultaneously, controlling expenses is crucial. The big money is not in the buying and selling, but in the waiting, said Charlie Munger. Warren Buffett, for example, is symbolic of frugality. Despite his enormous wealth, his modest lifestyle is a testament to the importance of keeping expenses in check. This approach combats lifestyle inflation, the tendency to upscale one's living as income rises. To illustrate, let's revisit John and Steve. Both earning progressively, Steve succumbs to lifestyle inflation, thus saving incrementally despite rising income. Resisting this temptation, John manages to save 4 times more than Steve over a decade. The same income, but different saving strategies yield vastly different results.
The most useful idea that Ben Graham ever had. Have the mindset of somebody that was buying into a business planning to hold for the long pull. And use that mindset when thinking of stocks. And neither one of us have ever departed from that one.
For many, the biggest wealth-building obstacle isn't earning, but spending. Lifestyle inflation, if unchecked, can derail even the most ambitious financial plans. Charlie Munger's philosophy underscores a mindset shift, where one learns to view money not just as currency, but as a tool for future freedom. The journey to $100,000 might be strenuous, but the lessons learned and the habits formed in that journey are invaluable. As you embark on this path, remember Munger's words. Step by step, you get ahead, but not necessarily in fast spurts. But you build discipline by preparing for fast spurts. Slug it out 1 inch at a time, day by day, and at the end of the day, if you live long enough, most people get what they deserve. The phenomenon of lifestyle inflation often begins subtly. A promotion at work, an unexpected bonus, or even just the natural progression of a career can lead to incremental increases in one's spending habits. It starts with perhaps a slightly larger home, a newer car, or more frequent dining out. Over time, what were once luxuries become perceived necessities. This shifts our baseline of normal and makes it progressively more challenging to appreciate the simpler things in life. Yet the key lies in awareness and conscious decision-making. While there's no harm in enjoying the fruits of one's labor, it's paramount to differentiate between short-lived pleasures and long-term happiness. The latter is often found in experiences, relationships, and pursuits that align with one's core values and passions, none of which necessarily require extravagant spending. In essence, lifestyle inflation isn't inherently negative. It becomes detrimental only when it hampers one's ability to achieve long-term financial goals. Munger's philosophy reminds us that patience, discipline, and persistence are the cornerstones of sustained wealth building. By adopting a future-focused perspective and resisting the allure of immediate gratification, we pave the way for financial freedom and a life of genuine contentment and fulfillment.
I think the best road ahead to human happiness is to expect less. I think it's going to get tougher.
The legendary Stanford Marshmallow experiment, conducted in the late 1960s and early 1970s, offers a perspective on the benefits of delayed gratification. Young children were offered a choice: 1 marshmallow immediately or 2 marshmallows if they could wait approximately 15 minutes. Follow-up studies revealed that those who were able to wait, the children who displayed delayed gratification, generally had better life outcomes as measured by SAT scores, educational attainment, body mass index, and other life measures. Applying this principle to our finances, we can understand the value of patience and the rewards that come with it. As the saying goes, good things come to those who wait. Now,
this controversial study about children and marshmallows might just change your life. So back in the 1960s, psychologist Walter Mischel, along with his team at Stanford University, set up a simple yet intriguing test with the young children. They placed each child in a room with a marshmallow on the table. The child had 2 options: eat the marshmallow right away or wait patiently for 15 minutes when they'd receive a second marshmallow as a reward. The researcher then left the room, leaving the child to wrestle with their decision. But hidden cameras captured the children's behavior. Some ate the marshmallow immediately, while others resisted it by distracting themselves with various techniques like singing or covering their eyes, or even smelling the marshmallow but not eating it. Now, years later, Mischel followed up with the participants and found something interesting. He found that those who'd waited for the second marshmallow generally had better academic performance, healthier lifestyles, and stronger relationships. They concluded that the ability to delay gratification played a role in longer-term success.
let's take a cue from the minimalism movement. Minimalists emphasize the importance of quality over quantity, believing that decluttering one's life of non-essential possessions makes room for what truly matters. This doesn't mean giving up on luxury or comfort, but evaluating what genuinely brings value and joy to your life. Such an approach can drastically cut down unnecessary expenses and enhance one's quality of life. Henry David Thoreau famously said, "Simplify, simplify." By embracing this philosophy, you can both save more and find greater happiness in the things you choose to retain.
We can have 10 pairs of shoes, but what do? We gravitate toward our favorite pair, right?
Yeah.
And so, as a minimalist, every piece of clothes that I own is my favorite clothes. Every pair of shoes, my favorite shoes. Every pair of jeans are my favorite jeans, because I don't own a bunch of excess stuff, and so I own only my favorites.
Charlie Munger himself is an advocate for lifelong learning. He believes that knowledge is cumulative and that the more you know, the more you can learn. Continuous education, whether through formal classes, self-study, or simply a habit of reading, can open doors to higher-paying job opportunities and side gigs. As Benjamin Franklin stated, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. By continuously investing in yourself, you increase your earning potential and enrich your life in countless other ways.
I just read and read and read. I probably read 5 to 6 hours a day. I don't read as fast now as when I was younger, but I read 5 daily newspapers. I read a fair number of magazines. I read 10Ks. I read annual reports, and I read a lot of other things too.
Practical steps to avoid lifestyle inflation. Budgeting. Regularly track and review your income and expenses. Tools like Mint or YNAB can offer insights into where your money goes. Set clear financial goals. When you have a clear objective, such as reaching that first $100,000, it's easier to resist superfluous spending. Mindful spending. Before any significant purchase, ask yourself if it's a need or want. Wait for a day or two before making any impulsive decisions. Stay grounded. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals who understand and support your financial goals. They'll serve as reminders and pillars of support. Automate savings. before you even see your paycheck, automatically set a portion to go into your savings or investment accounts. What you don't see, you're less likely to spend. Building wealth isn't solely about the numbers. It's a mindset, a lifestyle, and a commitment. By understanding the principles that legends like Charlie Munger abide by, we can carve our path in our unique way. The journey to your first $100,000 might be challenging, but armed with knowledge, discipline, and perseverance, the path becomes more apparent and achievable. Remember, the goal isn't just to accumulate wealth, but to use that wealth as a tool to live a life filled with purpose, passion, and joy. As Munger once said, step by step you get ahead, but not necessarily in fast spurts. Embrace the journey, celebrate the milestones, and always strive to learn and grow.